What is good, Tesla family? It's Ray J back with another video, and in this one, I'm going to be talking about the one and only Tesla stock, what you should be looking out for the future, and some breaking news that just came out because Elon Musk did give us his price prediction for Tesla in the future. He did mention the fact that he can see this thing going to the thousands. So I want to break down why on earth for the short term, yes, the market's not looking the best. We could see some pain. I'm going to break down what on earth is going on with Tesla from a white coffee and standpoint again, and then kind of connect this to what Elon Musk said and why this is just an absolutely incredible opportunity for each and every one of us. Now, before I break anything down, before I get into any more details, I do have to mention a couple of things before starting. Firstly, I'm not a financial planner. Don't take any of this as financial advice whatsoever. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. It not only benefits me, it benefits the entire Tesla community as a whole. And the last things, if you guys can, please check out the Webull link down below and in the description. If you sign up for Webull, the link down below, and deposit any amount of money into the account, you're guaranteed up to 12 free stocks, each worth up to $2,000. And the best part is, any of these 12 free stocks could be a free Tesla share, a free NEO share, or a mix of all of them. It's a limited time offer. The offer ends in just 8 days. Check it out before they run out. With that out of the way, let's get on with the video. Looking at Tesla, we've seen this massive downtrend being respected over the last couple of weeks. And because of the fact that Tesla is dropping, some people are just like throwing their hands up. They're losing faith. So yes, I am projecting more downside in the future for the markets. I want to break this down from a Wyckoff standpoint, but Elon Musk has given us a very, very good amount of insights as to what may end up happening to Tesla in the future and why this is not the end of the world whatsoever. In fact, this is a very big opportunity. So for the markets, if you look at the seasonality pattern during midterm elections for the S&P 500 since 1946, we are actually resembling this red line pretty well. I mentioned this previously, seeing the big drop approaching June, the big rally in August, another big drop in September, the small relief rally in October, followed by a big drop near the end of October, and another rally from there. So far, we're entering this phase right here where the market is becoming more choppy. There's lots of uncertainty. Institutions, investors, they know about this time frame. This is when the market tends to drop, especially with the FOMC meeting coming up pretty soon. So for Tesla, what does this mean? Well, in my previous videos, all right, I showed you guys something. I'm sure you guys remember this. I showed you guys a Wyckoff accumulation schematic. And what this essentially means is institutions, they short and sell certain stocks. They bring the prices down. They follow this pattern, or they tend to follow it in a very similar manner. And then as they follow this pattern, they start to accumulate these shares way down here. So big institutions are not buying all the shares at once. Otherwise, the share price can make a big move. What they tend to do is they buy in small increments around this zone, these like zones around here. Then they let this thing run, whatever stock it is, whether it's for like the S&P 500, the SPY, whether it's for Apple or NEO or any stock out there, right, for Tesla as well. And they let these things run a little bit later. And many stocks, many ETFs, they tend to follow this pattern. It's been pretty universal and in the markets for about a century now, maybe over a century. So for Tesla, what does this tell us? I'm going to adjust the chart a little bit so it's easier to see. So right now, guys, just look at the small little words around the chart and also compare it to this chart right here. So Tesla was coming down in 2022 in the very beginning. We come down, we see a big spike in volume. So this was the preliminary support. We push up a bit, and then we have this big drop with volume pushing up. This was the selling climax when Tesla hit 232. Then we have an automatic reaction where we push up and the volume was actually still low, which is kind of surprising. Volume remained low as we came down to the sell test right here. So this was the start of phase B from this point on. We get a big rally, just like how we have this big rally right here. Then we have a big drop and this crash that happened just as Tesla was dropping in June. Now, historically, this is what tends to happen to the market during the midterm elections, the big June crash. We have a sell test in phase B during this time. This is what this was resembling. Then after that, we saw a kind of like an accumulation right here. Institutions let this run up just a little bit, leading us into this kind of like run up that we see around phase B. Then we started to drop a little bit, ever so slowly. And then finally, we entered this phase right here as we approach the spring. Now, before we were wondering, was this a last point of support or was it a spring into phase C? Because there are different versions of this schematic that Wyckoff can actually have. So in this case, What happened to Tesla was we started to make new lows. We broke below the June lows. So that's a keen indicator that we actually are respecting this schematic and we are in the spring phase. So it's clear that this could be the last major like crash in the markets before we get a big rally. But I can't promise it's going to be exactly like this. Sometimes you could get like two springs where we like come down, we push up a little bit, we come down, retest that zone, then we get a big rally. But Wyckoff is suggesting that this is what the market is set to do. We might get a big rally relatively soon. So the rally may start, who knows when, because these different phases could kind of be like compressed or kind of like spread out. This means that the rally could happen, I don't know, maybe by like mid November, maybe it starts in December, and it may like happen very slowly and then kind of remain kind of like choppy until I don't know, like early 2023 or whatever. We don't know the exact time frame. That's the really difficult part. But we could be entering the final bottom for Tesla very soon. That's kind of like what the bottom line is. Now, in my previous videos, oh shoot, I think I just messed this up. Give me 1 second, guys. In my previous videos, I basically mentioned to everyone that when it comes to Tesla, this thing has potential to actually come down to particular levels. So what I essentially did was I looked at this from a different perspective. I looked at Tesla's all-time high. So let's actually adjust this Fibonacci. And then let's actually look at how low this thing actually could have gone to before. So like right about here, we could use this zone right here. I think a better zone would be this drop right here. And this kind of like gives us a good idea of how low Tesla could end up dropping to. So during the spring phase, which is like right here, Tesla is set for new lows to be made. If Tesla breaks below 200, the true bottom could be the 0.618 around like 180, maybe 175, which is where the golden pocket is at the 0.65 retracement. But if we break below that, we could go to the 0.707, 0.786. So 160 to 146 are also possibilities. I don't want to like scare anyone and say that's guaranteed. We have to like break the golden pocket first before we actually get this low. Depending on like, the world circumstances with Taiwan and China, Russia and Ukraine, they're also playing a big role. Not to mention the feds around the world, inflation, central banks, all these things are playing a big role. So it's impossible to predict the exact bottom, but the golden pocket is between 175 and 182. I could see Tesla coming down here, guys. It's very possible. So if that is the true bottom, consider us lucky. Why on earth are we lucky? Because if you look at what Elon Musk actually recently said, this person known as Jason DeBolt actually mentioned what Musk said. He stated that Tesla will be worth way more than Apple plus Saudi Aramco by 2030. That's a 4 trillion plus dollar market cap. It's precisely, I think, like 4.4 trillion. And you have to remember, Elon Musk made a similar prediction in 2015, where he said Tesla would be worth about $700 billion by 2025. Tesla broke the $700 billion mark in 2021, so it happened earlier than anticipated. And now Musk is saying Tesla's going to be worth more than $4.4 trillion in market cap. I believe that's over like 1,400 a share if you do combine the market caps of them and adjust for Tesla's current amount of shares outstanding. So that's about a $1,400 price target by Elon Musk by 2030. But remember, in the past, Elon Musk made a prediction and Tesla broke this like 4 years early. So it is possible for Tesla to actually break this. We have the actual quote from Elon Musk here. I see a potential path of Tesla to be worth more than Apple and Saudi Aramco combined. That's what Elon Musk said. He did say by 2030 as well. Once again, guys, very, very awesome. Musk stated that the media reports with great fanfare my predictions that are late but rarely those that come early. So once again, Musk is letting us know very, very possible how Tesla actually broke this. In fact, Tesla actually broke 700 billion in 2020. I was wrong about 2021. Still doesn't matter. It happened much earlier. I think I saw something else that was interesting somewhere here, and never mind about that. But anyways, looking at Tesla, all right, during the big drop, Tesla, if it doesn't hold 200, this thing could quite easily come to like the 190s. And if it does come down to that range, I wouldn't be surprised if we touch 175 to 182, the golden pocket. We could go lower to 162 depending on market circumstances, earnings, and other factors like that. 146 is also a possibility, which is the pivotal 0.786 retracement. This is where stocks tend to actually drop to, and they tend to bounce around this zone too, but they don't always have to go that low, right? It's just a possibility. So in the spring phase, as Tesla's coming down, this is a very big opportunity, because if you're buying Tesla at like 200, 180, 160, 140, Elon Musk said this thing is going to be worth over 1400 a share in his opinion. That's more than a 7x, maybe an 8x, 9x, depending on where you end up buying it. If you do buy it in these lower levels, maybe a 10x if it does drop that low. My point is, that's a crazy big opportunity. Now, Musk's kind of like time frame of 2030 is possible, but it does seem like he's trying to be conservative and trying to be as pragmatic as possible. I really believe that the way Kathy Wood put it, her target was about $4,600, which would be about, let me calculate this in my head. That's about like 1,500 to 1,600 a share by 2026. And she still stood by that earlier this year. So I think that target is also very possible, which means that Musk's target could be actually broken within a couple of years, guys. Tesla could quite easily, in my opinion, break past $1,000 over the next few years, maybe by like 2025, who knows? So, my point is, you have the opportunity to buy an asset that will likely 10x in a couple of years. Whether it's like 3 years or 5 years, that's still a relatively short period of time to 10x your money in the stock market. Remember, people on average make like 7 or 8%, 7 to 10% on the stock market if they just invest in like the S&P 500 and other like maybe like some high growth stocks too. So that's a very good return on investment. And we don't know the exact time frame. It can happen way sooner. And this is why I'm talking about how this is an absolutely incredible opportunity. So when it comes to Wyckoff, we do appear to be in the spring phase. We should be coming down a little bit more as time goes on if the market is ready to crash. But then, as Wyckoff would be suggesting, whether we're ready to start recovering like super soon or not, we could actually start to recover much, much sooner than people think. The recovery phase might be coming over the next like month or so. So be ready, guys. After the spring phase, once we get a big bounce, once we kind of like start to consolidate in that range, once we find a bottom, that could be the final bottom for the markets. And we could start to rally a bit approaching December, followed by a January, February, March rally in the markets. There could still be chop during those months depending on the Fed and global circumstances, but overall, I do see a big improvement for 2023. I doubt it's going to be as crazy and as bearish as this year was, as we have gone through the large majority of the cycles already. So a long-term future for Tesla is still incredibly bright. Look at the potential drop that may be coming very soon as an opportunity. This is an opportunity, guys, to buy into a stock that has so much potential, considering the fact that the AI technology is growing. Optimus is going to be huge. I think it's going to be massive. Elon Musk stated that the robots that they are developing, the humanoid robots, are going to be bigger than the cars themselves in Tesla. So absolutely massive, guys. I'm very, very bullish. I'm so excited to actually be buying these dips for the long term future. And this is just a big opportunity. That's how I see it. I'm not scared. I'm not worried. I am calm, cool, and collected. Non financial advice, by the way. And please do what you guys deem is best. Thank you all for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be prepared for some potential short term pain in the markets, because right now this is what tends to happen during this time. And be ready for anything, guys. Thank you. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Tesla to the moon, because the long term future is still incredibly bright. And peace out.